This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
It's three-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson. I want to introduce you to my new show, All Facts, No Breaks. I'll be giving you the real reactions to the latest sports news and inviting guests in the sports and entertainment world to break it all down. Tune in and make sure you listen and subscribe on Spotify.
Brooks Running has a new shoe for you runners out there. Did you hear that? Better turn up your volume. In fact, turn it up to the max. Introducing the all-new Ghost Max. It's got all kinds of things to make your knees and ankles feel protected, like Max Cushion, Max Soft Landings with DNA Loft V2 foam, and Max Smooth Rides with their Glide Roll Rocker. Feel better on your run with Ghost Max. Learn more at brooksrunning.com.
In today's episode, every brand will have an NFT. Enjoy. Welcome to the Age of Jeremy. My name is Jeremy Quintanilla. I am your host. I am the CFO of a business called 3T Warrior Academy and its co-founder, and I'm also the co-founder and CEO of Age of Radio. Check out our 3T Warrior Academy YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in 3T Warrior Academy. We have 111,000 subscribers because CJV, Good Morning Crypto, and the Non-Fungible Show put out content on a regular basis. So we are growing and growing and growing, and we want to grow more and educate people in this crypto space and the macro and microeconomic space. So go and check that out. And you can also check out all the behind the lens stuff that we do at 3T Warrior Academy behind the lens. I have a little bit of a allergy hiccup, so please excuse that. Or it's just because I had way too much caffeine today, and I'm drinking a nitro cold brew right now. So you can also go to ageofradio.com. Age of Radio also has a great community called Addicted to Podcasting. Go to Facebook, type in Addicted to Podcasting, join that community. We are working to make it more and more and more beneficial for content creators, whether a YouTube, podcast, whatever it is, to have a great community. We have 473 active members in that group. You should come and be the 474th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. It is a great place to hang out. You can also check me out on all the social medias at Age of Jeremy, except on LinkedIn, it's at Jeremy Quintanilla. And on Twitter, it's at Age of Jeremy Q. And make sure that you follow me on Twitter because we're going to be doing some more interactive spaces on Twitter as we continue to grow the Age of Jeremy brand. Very committed to creating a better authority, and that's a way to say like a personal brand, I guess, or to be known for certain things. And the great thing about me is I love all kinds of things, so I want to be known for lots of different things, but we're kind of pinpointing some of those things right now, and I would love to go on this journey with you. You can also head on over to my YouTube and subscribe. It's at Age of Jeremy as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk about non-fungible tokens real quick. If you don't know what an NFT is, it stands for non-fungible token. It's a unique digital identifier that cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided, that is recorded in a blockchain and that is used to certify authenticity and ownership. What makes them unique are the smart contracts that are built into them so that royalty payments can be sent to a specific blockchain address based off of the ownership and how the contract is written out. So I really recommend that you really dive in and understand non-fungible tokens. They're not going away. In fact, next Wednesday, which this should be coming to you on a Friday on June 6th, on January 11th. So this is coming to you on January 6th. On January 11th, we will be launching our X Royalty 3T Warrior Academy NFT. They are going to be 500 USD. You have to convert that 500 USD into XRP. You can check out the entire light paper at xroyalty.io. And essentially, the battle isn't against anybody. It is against your own consciousness. And we are really focusing on changing the way in which people look at NFTs and people think about the utility behind an NFT. Because the NFT can verify ownership, and that's what makes it super beneficial, right? And so because of that, we can verify that you own the NFT and you are have the ability to get certain things based off of the amount of NFTs that you buy with us. We're also creating a gamification piece where you can earn more raffles, because what we want to do with our NFT collection, the X Royalty NFT collection, is make it so that it can be a continuous useful thing. So if you just own an NFT, you get to come to our virtual conferences when we have them. Our first one will be in Q3 of 2023. You also get access into our Meta Academy when it goes live. And so we will be really spending a lot of time focusing on the metaverse and the virtual reality space. But with our NFT projects, like at tier 1, it's one NFT. You get access to all utilities as promised in the light paper and roadmap, access to the virtual conferences, opportunity for in-person events, because these NFTs are the buy-in into a premier group. And then as we release certain in-person events, there will be a raffle, and you'll be able to raffle, and then you'll be able to purchase to come to those in-person events. But we will be able to have virtual conferences all of the time whenever we want to have them, because they're virtual conferences. You'll also get a special rank for your tier 1. Tier 2 is for the community members, minting 3 NFTs, exclusive whitelist allocation for future 3T Warrior Academy NFT collections, CJV Moldavite necklace, and diamond hand hat. That's at 3 NFTs, and there's a tier 3, there's a tier 4, and there's a tier 5 and a tier 6. So you don't want to miss out on being able to have an opportunity with these. Please go to xroyalty.io. There's going to be a link in the episode description. I haven't talked about it a lot on this specific podcast, but the reason why I'm talking about it right now, but we have been talking a lot about on our YouTube channel. We've been talking a lot about on Twitter Spaces, on our Collecti Twitter Spaces. And sometimes I feel that there's so much stuff going on, it's really hard to pinpoint specifically what to talk about. But the reason why I want to talk about this NFT is because it's so important that people understand that as we move into the metaverse and we move forward, lots of brands are going to utilize NFTs, not from a speculation perspective, but because they're going to want to be able to create utility within their brand and provide special things for people that have these NFTs. And that's really what we're trying to do. And I believe that we're going to do very successfully, because if you see all of these cool minting abilities, like when you mint 10 NFTs, it's tier 4, you get one-on-one with the GMC team, you get a raffle for being a guest, on the Good Morning Crypto show, you get a hoodie, and you get a special rank. So the thing is that there are lots of benefits to having these different pieces of the to having these NFTs. But the thing is that's important about it is that you realize that non-fungible tokens aren't going away, and they're going to start moving from a speculative piece to being something that provides utility and benefit to brands, right? And so the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because I went on our show, one of our shows, the Non-Fungible Show, to talk about X Royalty and the benefit of X Royalty, what we're going to be doing with X Royalty, the importance of it. And that's the show that I brought to you today in an audio format. Now it was a live show that we did called the Non-Fungible Show. The Non-Fungible Show is every Wednesdays at 11:30 AZ time, which would be 11:30, 12:30, 1:30 Eastern time. Every Wednesday, it has a host. His name's Selman. He is the owner of a business called Collecti Labs that I am a part owner and strategic advisor for. That is an incubator for NFT projects, and they have their NFT release here coming at the end of January for their X-Gen token holders, which released last year. And so the other host that's on this, his name's Tones, NFT Tones. Tones is a good friend of mine. He's also a host on the show. He knows everything about play to earn gaming and is very heavy in the non-fungible token space. And then we also have the amazing Bellino, who is one of the coders for the Collecti company, and then who is also behind our smart contract creation for and the development of our X Royalty piece and how all of that goes into play. So that being said, I think that is everything I want to talk about. I just encourage you to not be afraid of non-fungible tokens, not be afraid of the crypto space, because it's not going away. You just have to be mindful of bad actors and make sure that you do your research. Again, go to xroyalty.io. I don't want to go through every single piece of the light paper, so I encourage you to check out the light paper. I will try to link. I'm going to see if I can link the PDF to the episode description so you can see the light paper. If not, you can go to xroyalty.io, click on the light paper, learn about the NFT project, and hopefully become a part of it, because I believe that it's going to be amazing. There's only 4,444 NFTs available in the collection. So go and check it out. And again, if you don't, when you mint, it's a random mint. So you might get a certain type of piece. You might get a certain type of exclusivity for the collectible that you get minted, right? That's what makes NFT so fun, is the minting part of it. It's like buying a pack of magic cards, right? And then getting to open that up at the mint, right? The mint is a similar piece to opening up those cards. Then again, we're going to be having a gamification piece that'll be really fun. So make sure that you join the community, engage in the community. Like I've always said, everything is about community. And I look forward to it moving forward. And so here is that conversation that I have with Selman Bellino in NFT Tones about the future of the NFT space. I talk about X Royalty, and we talk about how all brands will have a NFT in the future.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another fire episode, an explosive episode here of the Non-Fungible Show here on the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube channel. My name is G. I'm your host today, joined by my incredible team here. I'm super excited to have Tones, Bellino, and our special guest, the co-founder and CFO of the 3T Warrior Academy, Mr. Jeremy. How you doing, guys? I'm going to get to you in a second. I just want to let you all know, all our viewers here, our warriors here, and collectors, I want to let you guys know that we prepared some interesting articles for you, and the topic is very interesting. And before we dive into them, Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you guys have your New Year's resolution. If so, just throw it away. There is no resolution, guys. Just be consistent in what you do and start right now. So, guys, X Royalty is right around the corner. 1 week left for Coach JV's and 3T Warrior Academy's official NFT launch. Literally, officially, the 3T Warrior Academy is stepping into the Web3 space, into the Web3 game. So it's going to be a very interesting and exciting journey. And we have Jeremy here today to answer your questions. So all I want you to do is turn on the fire mode in the chat and let us know your questions, and also interact with us. This show is for you guys. Don't forget that. And so come on stage, literally chat with us, and we are more than happy to bring your thoughts, your opinions here on stage as well. So I want to kick it over to Tones. How are you feeling today, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm excited to be here, and I know we have exciting articles. I'm glad to have Jeremy on the show. It's not every day we get to see Jeremy on the show, so I'm excited, and I'm glad to get his thoughts.
Correct. It's been a long time. It was probably like 6 months ago we had Jeremy here on the show. But before we go to Jeremy, Bellino, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm like super excited for this episode because I know you did bring us some exclusive footage from Dubai, I'm not going to spoiler it. We're going to see it soon. But I'm super happy to be here. Also, welcome, Jeremy. And chat is on fire, I see. On the right side, it's like moving all the time. So thank you guys for participating. Smash the like button and ask your questions in the chat.
So Bellino is basically Tom Holland of this space. Jeremy, how you doing, man? What's on your mind today? Welcome to the show.
Well, I am doing fantastic, Selman. I hope that my internet is going to be okay during this, because I think that there's kind of a lag, and I don't have a hard line into the office that I'm currently in our space in Mesa. So I might have to shut down the YouTube chat that I have up over here and do the chat from inside of StreamYard. But other than that, I am doing fantastic. I'm amazed. I am very happy and amazed at all the things that you are doing with the NFT show. And I'm very grateful and to be on it, to be able to talk about the Web3 and NFT space and X Royalty.
Awesome, man. I'm very excited for this. I see Johnny Crypto in the chat asking for that shirt. Where you get it from?
I don't know. So these are one of a kind. You will never see any of these again. You will not be able to buy. No, I'm just kidding. You will be able to get to these eventually once Johnny figures out how to sell these shirts online.
Nice. And so I've seen Tyler dropping a question there. We're collecting all the questions. Later when we talk about X Royalty, we're going to answer them all. So make sure you ask your questions in the chat. Let's turn on the fire mode. So let's start with the very first topic of today. You guys know I've been in Dubai last month, and it was interesting. Dubai is a very beautiful place, and it was pretty much warm over there, which I definitely needed. But it wasn't until we prepared for the non-fungible show that we discovered that there was the very first NFT shop opening in the UAE. And literally, we talked about this on stage. And then the next day I was there and I told everybody that I'm going to be active on Instagram with Collectee's official Instagram account and, make a nice show over there and talk to people. And I just want to show you the NFT shop. And we're going to talk about like what kind of opportunity is coming for Web3 enthusiasts, right? So I'm very excited about that. So let's dive into it. Let me bring up the chart here. So basically, guys, it's called the FT NFT, right? So this was 22nd of December. And I was pretty much early there. They wanted to open like in 4 or 5 hours. And the funny thing is, or not funny, but the very interesting part is literally the design with so many hundreds of LED displays. People have been waiting there. I didn't expect so many people. And one cool feature is you can literally draw anything you want there, and then you can mint it as an NFT. Perfect way to educate kids on NFTs. And you can purchase NFTs there, their own NFTs from collaborations with artists. So it was a multicultural event, of course. So very fun. And I really enjoyed that they also had a 3D scanner. So you can step into the 3D scanner. They scan you. You can get it as an avatar. You can use that for other metaverse projects in the future as well. And for their upcoming metaverse, where you can literally use yourself with your clothes, etc., to actively walk and interact in that metaverse. So that was very cool. And another cool feature was obviously the art. So music was there, and I want to see. There was a great artist. She was basically talking about like how AR is going to change, right? So Jeremy, I want to actually get your opinion on this. So AR, I don't know if you've seen the content on Instagram, but the artist used AR and to illustrate the art in a different way. You had a very normal 2D pic, like literally normal Canva there, but if you scan the QR code, it changes. You automatically go to Instagram. You have the filter on Instagram, that AR filter, and you see a whole new experience. That picture becomes alive, right? So it's a feature. I know you talked about, you shared your opinion on AR on social media. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, so I'm actually, I think one of the most maybe untalked about technologies, because I think it's being overclouded by virtual reality, is augmented reality. I believe that we are going to obviously see much more virtual reality into the future. So anybody that's listening, I believe now would be a great time to get into Oculus, any other type of virtual reality software, understanding that, because there's going to be this really big push into virtual reality that we're already starting to see, and that's going to continue. But on the other side of that, the deeper part of that is how you can actually implement
augmented reality, not only through like what you're explaining right now, Selman, with the pictures and then it going into seeing like the art inside of the picture and all of the gimmicky augmented reality things that we have now. But if you look at the new Oculus that came out, the Oculus Pro, and you looked at the stuff that Microsoft is doing with their HoloLens, augmented reality is going to be much more where like right now we could all have like a HoloLens or an augmented reality headset on, and you would be projected in my reality, like where I can see you as if you were right here, right? And you would be able to see me as if I was right there in front of you. And that's going to really bridge even more gaps. It's going to make the world even smaller, right? And that's, I think, one of the biggest things that we're trying to solve as a society and as humans is how we can build much closer relationships using technology and bridging, you know, the fact that you're in Germany right now. I think you're in Germany right now, or when you were in Dubai, and then I was over here in you know, like the United States. And that's something that I'm really, really excited for, one. And then two, I think we're going to see an implement in the more gimmicky stuff. Like this is something that we're working on right now here in 3-2 Warrior Academy. Our media team, Dustin and Josh, they're being educated in like Substance 3D, augmented reality pieces so that we can start taking more of that and implement it into our social media stuff and the things that we do along with our journey into the metaverse that I'm sure we'll be talking here at some point in time.
Yeah, so you also talked about something very important. Like it's not only about the technology and how fast and good the technology evolves. It's also about the society if people are actually accepting the technology and are okay or are like fearless to use it. Because I know from a lot of people who are like, I mean, there are still people who are getting new into social media. I know It sounds like funny, but there are still people like 50 years old, 40 years old. They're starting their new Instagram account, their new TikTok account. And so because we are like, let's say like the generation who's like in touch with technology or interested in for us, it sounds like super natural and super standard and normal. But there are still people who are like getting new into this, let's say later Web 2 stuff. And now we are already talking about new technology. It's like way too fast for a lot of people out there. And I think from that point, AR is a good bridge from having what we are having right now and what we are going to have in the future. So people are not feared to be like capsuled away from the actual reality, but just added something onto it. Like it's augmented. The reality is augmented. That's also like where it comes from. Because if you have these glasses and these goggles on, you are like capsuled away from the whole reality. We also there's those funny videos on Instagram and YouTube where people have that, and then randomly they're jumping in front of them and then, I don't know, destroying the TV or so because they just felt like they're in that reality for that moment. And like that's also what most people are afraid of. They're not even testing this technology because they're afraid of. Then you have other things like motion sickness, and like there's a lot of problems which like are like keeping the mainstream away from adopting this technology. And from this point, I think like augmented reality is a good bridge technology to adopt the masses for this, and especially if you find like good use cases for educational stuff, for
absolutely
I don't know, helping stuff, which is like improving your life quality and helping with your work. And then at some point even combine those with NFTs or assets. It will like be the ultimate business model in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things too. And I know Tones, you had some things that you wanted to add, but real quick, that's one of the biggest things too, is that we're going to see a lot of these things like what we're going to be doing into the Meta Academy, where we're utilizing these technologies to bring people closer for education. But augmented reality opens that up even more, where like you could be able to have a class around a hologram that's in our reality, right? That can then like you can learn from it and piece parts away from it, like engineering or doctors, where they can see what would happen to a patient if they did this just from something that is in the augmented reality space. So, but anyways, Tones, I know you had something you wanted to add.
Yeah, so I just feel like there's going to be a space for augmented reality, and then it's space for virtual worlds, because there's so much going on in the space. I mean, if you look at the communities behind both, there's so much going on. I mean, if you look what Pokemon Go did years ago, it's still played to this day. And I mean, we have other games trying to copy its experience if you look at Genopets and stuff. So, I mean, if we look at how this technology is going to be pushed further and further, I think it's going to be great for video games and great for NFTs. And everything that's going to come out of this will be great because we're going to see so much more technology progressments in this area. I think it's going to be really cool.
And guys, actually, this was funny. Like anything that takes us away from the reality of life has to be a good thing. But it's kind of like social media, TikTok, right? It's what you're doing with that.
Yep.
Coach JV is creating value on TikTok, right? But then there are people just literally today. I'm guilty. I've wasted an hour. I woke up, I was on my phone for a whole hour scrolling down TikTok. I wasn't like getting up, right? I wasted time, valuable time there. And so it's pretty much about like what you said, Jeremy. Literally, you could, like, doctors could use it, engineers could use it to find, or see the different outcomes, kind of like, Avengers with, what was his name? Doctor Strange. To see,
when he was trying to see all of the different realities that would possibly happen.
Correct.
Right, and that's a good thing that can happen from it. Yes.
Correct. So, there are different opportunities. Even crypto, for some people, it's scary. Digital IDs, digital wallets, for some people sounds like dangerous. For some people, it's convenient, like credit cards, right? It can be convenient, but it can also be dangerous. It's actually how you see things, right? So very interesting topic. Of course, keep in mind, guys, the title of today is very powerful, and we're going to address that later today. And it's building up. AR is also part of that. It's technology. And so I want to move on to the next important article, which is 2023 will see the death of play-to-earn gaming. Now, this is a very, very strong statement here, but developers have been focusing more on tokens than on making fun games. As a result, GameFi has been dying. Now, I'm surrounded by gamers here tonight, or today for you guys. This is why I'm very excited to talk about gaming also. Play-to-earn gaming enabled by blockchain technology has grown exponentially over the few years, and through the advent of this new technology, players have been able to generate income by selling in-game NFTs or earning cryptocurrency rewards, both of which can be exchanged for fiat cash. And according to data from Absolute Reports, the estimated value of the GameFi industry will grow to $2.8 billion by 2028, with a compound annual growth rate of 20.4% over the same period. But such predictions may well prove to be unfounded. Now, before I continue with this article, I want to get Tone's opinion on this. Do you think this is a very strong statement? Is there some truth behind it, or is it just nonsense?
So I dislike articles like this because they say play to earn is dying, and in a way it is, but it's just evolving. We basically figured out play to earn doesn't exactly work, and so what it's evolving into is play and earn. And so they realize that people can't just constantly be they need to constantly be putting money in for play to earn to work. So they're switching to play and earn. And it's basically implying that you can earn while playing rather than only playing to earn. And so this is really big because these developers need to learn that they need to focus on the game being fun rather than focusing on the economy. All that stuff comes afterwards. If your game isn't fun, well, then nobody's going to play it and it's just going to die. So the most important thing is having your game be something fun to play.
Yeah, I would love to add something in here. Like you said it perfectly. I also think the future will be more like play and earn and not play to earn, because like playing is like combined, in my opinion, always with fun. And I'm playing for fun and not to earn, like it's not a job, at least not for me. So that's one point. The other point is who remembers like the birth of free-to-play games? The first, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years.
I'm in that generation, so yes, I remember that.
So how many, like, what was the percentage of all free-to-play games which were actually good? Like really, really small. At some point, games like, I don't know, maybe RuneScape was maybe like one of the first games which was kind of good. And then you start seeing games like, I don't know, for example, League of Legends, which is like free to play. Then you have Fortnite. You have all these big titles which are actually making more money than games you have to pay for, but are still free to play. They start getting competitive, whatever. So like, it's a long road. But what I'm trying to tell is, like, we are like in the first years of this concept of gaming. And as with like the free to play, everyone said like, how are they going to like finance this whole stuff? It's free. No one's going to pay money for a skin. Guess what? More people are paying money for skins than actual games. So these things need some time to develop. You will have a lot of scamming people who will just need the money of the community and then just let them drop. But at some point, the bigger fishes are going to step into this. They will have a solid strategy on how to keep things like free and kind of still make it fun and also like profitable for them. And at this point, it will just like exponentially, in my opinion. But until then, those projects just have to kind of evolve and survive, like NFT Tone said.
Yeah, and so I want to add to that, Molino, too, because I could talk about this play to earn space a lot. Because if you guys don't know 3T Warrior Academy, we have CJV and I have a digital fund business called Phoenix Crypto Assets. And so one of the test funds that we did was very high into that space. So Tones hears me preach about this a lot. And you saw Johnny Crypto a minute ago put up on the screen, and it said that as long as they don't work like a Ponzi's. So I want us to talk about that first real quick. Is the biggest problem is that you have to you purchase the node. That's how they get the money, right? So then the node validates the transactions, or what the node does, and then it pays out in this case, we'll use Gala. So then the node pays out that Gala to people, and that's how it gets paid. What usually happens in a lot of instances, Strong would be another example, but a non-play to earn space, in a different kind of space, you would then have to sell more of the node to get the money. So that's what Johnny Crypto is talking about when he says like it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme, or Ponzi-nomics is what we talk about it a lot. But the reason why we like Gala a lot, and why I will not promote Gala, we're not sponsored by it or anything. It's just something that I think is going to go into the future because they're starting to get it right, and they're one of the few ones that are getting it right, is the fact that they have games that are playable, right? So they have Townstar, they have Spider Tanks, and I think another one's in beta, if I'm not mistaken. Tones can put in the chat what the other one is. And so what happens is now they sell pieces to either play inside of the game, right? And people that can own them can rent their pieces out, or then they sell different things that you could need to get, better at the game, or to do more in the game. And so that's creating new revenue that then can allow them to pay out the Gala without having to sell more nodes, or in essence, sell more coins to get the money to be paid out. And so the companies that do that are the companies that are going to be super beneficial into the future. So not only Gala is one to look at, there's Myra and there's Playable, right? That once they get their games released and you can start seeing that piece and their nodes fully released, then we can get an idea of where that's going. But right now, Gala has proven to me to be one of the only companies, one of the better companies at making sure that they can make, continuous revenue. And then the second thing that I wanted to mention about the play to earn space is the other problem arises is that a lot of people like playing on consoles. Yes, hardcore gamers love their desktops and all of that. But when we see companies go to the ability to have the game on, say, Xbox or PlayStation or on Switch, and they can get into that console space, like Ubisoft started their NFT project, and I'm sure Ubisoft will be one of the first ones to do it, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that. But that's when we're also going to see that continue. So all that they did in that article was they just did a shocking value, and then they just talked about the problems. It's not that they're dying. It's just that they're changing. And that's what we have to be ready for. And there is real opportunity moving into the future as the good actors and the valuable companies keep moving forward and coming out.
So just on real quick, Square Enix is also starting to push themselves into the NFT play to earn space. And it's really interesting because I think that they really believe in it. And I think we'll start to see more of them in the space. Now,
it's interesting, guys, to see that, a lot of projects currently are tanking, right? And so there's a nice quote. As a legendary investor, Warren Buffett liked to put it, only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. And now that Jeremy says, so Gala perfectly resonates with you and you think it, it has proven to be a solid project or, a strong leadership behind it. So you see, it's a great example. People should be doing their due diligence and really dive into the things behind the scenes, understand what the team is doing, what's the leadership, right? That's always important. And so you see, the fact of the matter is to play to earn gaming industry is not built on firm foundations. The foundations are fragile and flimsy, and this could well spell trouble in 2023. And so you see, I've seen a lot of different news articles, probably all our listeners and viewers did as well. Everybody's calling out for new lows in 2023. It's going to be worse. Recession continues. So last question to the group here. Do you think we can survive this anytime soon, or is it going to take years until people are bullish again on gaming in the Web3 space? So Tones, maybe you'd like to answer this.
So I feel like it's definitely a little bit, with all the NFT projects that are dying, it's definitely a little bit scary. But I feel like as we start to see more of the bigger companies start to get involved, Ubisoft and Square Enix, and then eventually maybe Activision, possibly even Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar. So there's a lot of things going on in this space. So it would be really, really interesting to see what happens if anything does continue to happen, which I really think it will. I think this space is going to be really, really pushed. I think as the virtual worlds and stuff really start to become more prevalent, we'll start to really find games that we can find immersive and find ourselves spending a lot of our time in. And it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, I don't know how many, I feel like there's going to be a lot of spaces and worlds that once you put that helmet on or whatever, you're going to lose hours in that space and you're not going to even realize it. So I feel like there's a lot to be underestimated in this space. I feel like there's going to be a lot to come. I feel like I just said, we're just scratching the surface of player ownership. This is huge. Like I said before, these games, imagine just owning this one asset and using it in other games. I feel like this could be tremendous. And we're, like I said, just scratching the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Someone I just want to add point to what Tones just said was that, and I know Belino wanted to add something too, but like Tones, when the last Call of Duty came out, I asked you what you were playing it on, and I forgot what you had said, but it had only been out a week or a couple of days, and you were maxed level already. That's the kind of gaming that people do now. Imagine how I don't want to say that you're addicted to it, but like addictive or immersive it's going to be when you are able to lock yourself away from everything and have play to earn gaming type of features that are inside of, say, an Oculus or another virtual reality machine. I know Apple's working on theirs too. So
now real quick, I want to add this. Guys, the unique active wallets have been declining drastically. Even after, the FTX crash, you see people are pretty much done with the crypto space for now. And it's just interesting. So an environment has been created in which the players are not all that interested in games themselves, which is a strange state of affairs for a gaming industry to find itself in. More and more of the players are in reality investors who want returns on investment. Now, I agree with that, but after all, this is not an objective data. Of course, this is an opinion, so maybe you guys think different. But in general, a lot of people are investing in cryptocurrencies because they're hoping that it's going to increase in value, right? But they're not really into experiment, use the technology, right? People buy XRP because people believe it's going to go up in value. But I personally love to use it to send, to do transactions, send money, cross-border payments. And it's super fast. In a second, literally, I tested it multiple times. It took me always like 1 second to send the money. So it's, I'm testing it. It's a great technology. And so people should really understand. I feel like the utility aspect of this, once that kicks in, I feel like then GameFi will see a tremendous, a bullish move. But Belino, I'll kick it back to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add quick, like people also have to kind of understand that they are like not that there's not the group of gamers. They are like so many. A lot of them are just like into role play games. One of them is like sports. I don't know, maybe NBA, FIFA, or whatever. Some of them are like race car simulations. Some of them are like, I don't know, Call of Duty, first person shooter, tactical shooters, whatever. So what I'm just trying to say is there are so many different spaces where it's like enough maybe for one big player to establish something. Let's say, I don't know, EA comes with tokenized FIFA players where you can tokenize your soccer team and then trade single players for real, or you tokenize your skins, your weapon skins in Call of Duty or whatever. So there's just needed one kind of change in that direction, and people will change their opinions super fast. It maybe even only needs 1 year after the update, and everyone is super bullish into NFTs in gaming sector. So it is like you don't know what you don't know. So we can speculate on that it's going to take 10 years, but if, I don't know, EA or Blizzard's coming up with an NFT blockchain partnership with, I don't know, maybe Polygon or whatever, they say like from now on you can have all your skins in game turned into NFTs, it's done. And there we are. So there is no need for 10 years of transformation into blockchain games. It could be all done within months or a single year. It just needs those big fishes to jump onto that ship.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add. If you look at World of Warcraft, people have been buying and selling things, trading them in World of Warcraft virtual goods since the early 2000s.
Nearly 20 years now.
Yeah, and so like what Bellino's point is once they adopt the blockchain, which is the most important part about this whole thing, right? To be able to do that and create smart contracts. Once the big technologies do that, they already have the other infrastructure in place to make markets. And so it's just how do you get that? How long does it take for them to create that underlying piece, right? And then to create those markets inside of their ecosystems. And we are going to see that, and bigger companies are going to get in.
You already have these Steam marketplaces where you can sell actual in-game items for money. So they're like basically the concept is already there. They're just not being like transferred to the blockchain yet.
Yep. Did anyone else see though that now Steam is starting to allow NFT games again, which about a year ago they banned them, and now they're starting to allow them again. So I just want to take note that that is definitely really interesting. In the first game,
this is actually an interesting one because just found a title. It says, "Good job, Internet. You bullied NFTs out of mainstream games." And it was funny because at some point when even Discord, the CEO talked about NFTs, that they want to integrate it, all of a sudden he was bombarded with negative comments. No, thanks. We don't want NFTs. And they threatened to, actually cancel their Nitro subscription, etc. And then they stopped, right? And you see all of that happen at a time where people were skeptical, and even now it's kind of like the NFT enthusiasts want NFT integration everywhere, and then there is a group always talking about the climate change and all of that, energy consumption, all of that. And so you see there are like two parties now fighting over this. But it kind of looks like right now NFT is definitely hated by many people. I feel like next time when utility hits or there is, a crypto bull run again, you'll see how many businesses will jump in again. And I feel like Steam is just making a step maybe to be one of the pioneers to accept it, adopt the technology as soon as possible before the masses come back to the markets. So Tones, maybe your take on that, or Jeremy.
So yeah, I think that this is really interesting because I feel like that. So what you say is true, because especially with Discord, and it's happened to many other games. Like we saw it with Stalker. There's another game. It was actually Worms that it happened to, where these developers are getting so much backlash because they're incorporating NFTs because people don't understand the NFTs, don't understand how beneficial it is. People just think it's another money grab, just like how monetization it works with skins and stuff like that. But imagine, guys, these skins, all this stuff being able to be sold that we own forever. If it's limited, it makes it much more rare. Imagine those Fortnite skins that came out years ago. If they were only limited and only so many came out, they would be worth so much more money now. Instead, they just kept re-releasing them, and it kind of made them worthless. And none of them are sellable anyway unless you sell your Fortnite account. So it's just a whole bunch of pain in the butt, and it's like struggles to get around this.
Yeah, so what has to happen for NFTs and what is going to happen, and I think we're going to talk about this in a little bit, is that NFTs, no matter whether it's inside of a community like 3T Warrior Academy, if it's part of Collectee's community, or if it's Ubisoft or Activision or Microsoft or wherever it is, Steam, it's about what type of benefit does the NFT have apart from its ability to create some type of speculation. Because one of the things that's going to have to happen, right? The reason why people are like, well, NFTs are stupid or all of these things is because they're looking at it as a way where it's just a speculative piece without any underlining real utility or benefit that comes back to the people that either minted it or the people that hold it at whatever point in time. And so that's why when we look at Gary Vaynerchuk, why one of his NFTs have done so well is because there is something beyond it that's beyond a speculative piece. And so as Collectee Labs innovates, as 3T Warrior Academy innovates, that's one of the things that we're trying to do to separate ourselves, is because it is about what does the benefit besides speculation bring to each of the people, and how does it improve their standing or their involvement or their seat inside of a community. And once the gaming companies and everybody gets that concept in their head, that's when NFTs are going to explode, because the concept of them being apart from the speculation is going to be the most important part.
I highly agree with you, Jeremy, because it's also not just the utility, of course, it's also who is promising that, right? Because obviously there have been many NFT projects turn out to become, rug pulls. And this is why Collectee came, stepped into the space to create NFTs or partner with brands to bring solid and, valuable NFT projects. And then you see, for example, the Twitch streamer and NFT founder DMP3 he's admitting that, he gambled away investor funds, and his projects, including the Goobers NFT and charity-focused cryptocurrency KlueCoin, were down following the announcement. And basically what he says was, he admitted to gambling away investor funds, and every dollar I could find, I would put it into crypto casino stake in hopes of winning big. Even when the big wins did happen, it wasn't enough. Eventually, I lost everything. In addition to my own life savings, I also irresponsibly used investor funds to try and get my money back from the casino, which was wrong for so many reasons. I am now completely broke, both financially and spiritually. My sense of trust in myself is compromised. And you see, it can happen in this space. So it's also important when you buy into an NFT, not just for as a speculative asset, actually go and buy an NFT for the utility. But who is delivering that utility to you? Do you trust that leadership team? That is important. And so when you talk about Gary Vee, for example, Gary Vee is a great educator. He's been very active on TikTok for years on social media. And he also said that, hey, that NFT has value until the final conference we're going to do. After that, it's just a digital, it's just art. It doesn't have any value. Later on, I think he added some kind of value, but still, if it only was digital art, the conferences are done, zero utility for that artwork. There is still someone going to collect them because, hey, it's Gary Vee's first NFT collection or second NFT collection. So there's always going to be some kind of value because people believe in Gary Vee. And so that's an important point. People should look at things from that perspective. Any comments you guys would like to add to this?
Yeah, I think that too, we're going to see, I just want to add this too, because this is one thing that we're solving and hoping to continue to solve and make better with our current NFT project, X Royalty, and other projects into the future, is the fact is how can you having an NFT not only benefit you based off of what happens from your minting piece of it, but then how can we utilize that to continue to add pieces for it for the people that currently own those NFTs. And that's something that I think that you, Selman, and Bellino, and Jackie, who's part of our 3T team, and Aaron or Clocks, was that able to kind of look at and say, how can we make this a lot better? Just like you're doing with Exogen, and when the Exogenesis line fully launches here, I'm not going to say the day because I don't want to misspeak on when the NFTs are fully going to go out, but like for you guys. But so I think that that's one of the biggest things that are happening. Like if you look at how long CJV and I have been doing this for 5 years, how long we've been doing this since 2020 in the crypto space, what we have accomplished, the authenticity, right? Because our whole thing is about honesty, integrity, and unwavering belief, right? I don't know if you guys know that. I'm just going to say it because we're open about it. Business Insider did a smear campaign on Coach JV. He, once that happened, went on our live and went through bullet points and had an open conversation with everything that person said, the stuff that wasn't true, the stuff that was true, and openly talked about it, right? And so that's one of the things that you want to be aware of so that you don't get into some type of NFT project that ends up being a rug pull. And so some of that onus comes on you guys as people that are purchasing it. And then that onus comes on the people that are delivering it too. And so I just want you all to be mindful that that's going to be a big piece as you move into NFTs, because just because the NFT space is changing doesn't mean there's going to be not going to be bad actors in it in the future. So it's very important for you to understand what's happening and making sure that not only that it's not part of a scam piece of it, but the people that you're getting involved with are people that have like a long time, like a track record of, being, like I said, for us, at least, for the honesty, integrity, and having that unwavering belief.
Awesome, Jeremy. Thank you so much. Well, that being said, as the title suggests, the title of today's show, every major brand will have an NFT strategy. Well, it says every major brand, but I personally believe it's going to be almost all brands. It's like creating an Instagram account, Facebook account for the business. US NFT studio Palm sees bright, non-fungible future. And it's interesting, guys. Non-fungible token projects dipped dramatically in 2022, and yet there's plenty to be positive about in terms of the technology's future. And NFTs are clearly more than just an asset. So he's basically saying, so the CEO is saying NFTs are clearly more than just an asset. What they can provide through features as connective experiences is nearly limitless. Now, Palm Studio has been working with DC Comics to bring out NFT collections for comic lovers. And he's also saying that, identity is a key feature of NFTs and, their role in building deep, durable fan communities. That is important. And so the concept of NFT is just so broad. Obviously, we're always saying NFTs are the future, but people want something tangible. People want to know exactly what could be possible with it, and we brought different examples. Starbucks is bringing loyalty program through NFTs, which is nice, and then hundreds of brands, right, joining the space like Mercedes, Porsche, all of them. Using the Polygon blockchain, for example. And then you see luxury brands also joining the space. And so you see different branches, different sectors are joining the space, experimenting. Clothing brands, fashion brands like Nike, all of them experimenting and made a lot of money here. So that is interesting. And final thing here is the future of NFTs is connective. NFTs allow us to bridge online and offline experiences. Now that was powerful. Online and offline, we're going to tell you why. To build and center communities. This will fundamentally alter the media landscape as brands and large intellectual property increasingly adopt the technology. Just as every brand today has a social strategy, every major brand tomorrow will have an NFT strategy designed to engage and reward their fans. NFT-based gameplay and communities will have a broad-reaching impact. Now, with that being said, Jeremy, I want to kick the ball to you. Because 3T Warrior Academy is a major brand, and it looks like you guys are soon going to drop an NFT collection named X Royalty. So maybe you want to take it from here and answer questions also from the community. So guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat now. We're collecting them and asking Jeremy right now.
Yep. So put your questions in there. I'll ask as best as I can based off of the information that is out. But first, I want to say, as we're waiting for some questions to populate, one, we believe so much in the community and why NFTs are important that not only were we doing X Royalty, but myself and CJV partnered with Selman and Bellino and their vision for Collecti Labs, because I believe with my heart and my mind, however you want to do it, my whole being, that this is going to be such a big space moving into the future, because people are going to want utility from their companies, right? Companies don't want to just create NFTs to make money. They want to create NFTs to provide value. And what we've seen over the last, 365 days, year and a half, with 2 years with explosion of NFTs, is it's always been about money. And we are going to be moving away from that. And one of the biggest things that we're focused on with X Royalty is being able to provide different tier systems that provide different events. The best thing, the way that I was trying to decide how I wanted to say this, and someone actually said it best when we were talking about it, was that getting into the NFT mint is buying into the club. And there's benefits that come with having that mint that gets you into the club, right? Right. So like every NFT holder is going to get access to our virtual conference. So if you're an NFT holder, when we have our virtual conference, which will eventually be in a metaverse, right? You will be able to join that by having the NFT, right? And then there's also premium events that come with that, where there's a raffling system that will allow you to purchase into those things. So it's like getting the seat at the table at more premium events after you buy into the specific club. And so with that in mind, if you have a chance to go see our light paper, I encourage you to go read the light paper at xroyalty.io, or if someone wants to bring it up here. And so essentially there's going to be different tier systems that get you certain amounts of raffles that will be released here as we get some more of the rarity. So that's one piece. And then after you get into the tier systems, okay, go down one more real quick, Selman, and we can talk to the tier systems here. And so when you get into those tier systems, you get different things that give you, like I said, tier 1 is minting 1 NFT. You get access to the virtual conferences, right? You also get opportunity for in-person events, which will be additional, right, to a raffle drawing that comes with that. And then you also get a special rank, because what's going to happen as you mint these and the rarity levels are released and what is actually coming out, there's going to be a gamification piece, which we're working on, that will allow you to get more chances to do more stuff for raffles that we do throughout the year, apart from what's mentioned here. Okay. And so if we look at like tier number 2, when you mint 3 NFTs, you get exclusive whitelist allocation for any of the future NFT collections that we do, and we will be doing more NFT collections. You get the CJV signature Moldavite necklace, you get the diamond hand hat, and then you also get another special rank, which will be released when the minting happens, because we're finalizing all of that. And so if we look at like tier 3, one of the tiers that I've gotten some feedback from, the people are like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be doing this one because it'll get me my lifetime membership for the 3T Warrior Academy, right? Along with the previous other tiers. So it kind of goes in tandem. And so what this is doing, it is not only bridging the gap of when we go more into virtual, because as you'll see here, we will be releasing a metaverse of our own that Collecti Labs is going to create with us as our partners, right? Where you will be able to have the ability to go into that metaverse, do things in that metaverse, interact in that metaverse. And so that's the virtual piece. But we also want to bring people back to Mother Earth, right? To the nature, to the grounding, to be in person, to have those connections. That's one of the biggest things that we're trying to accomplish with our vision, is being able to bridge both of these things together, where you have the virtual world and the non-virtual world. And so when we look at like tier 4 with 10 NFTs, you get to go and bother Johnny Crypto. So if any of you get that NFT, if any of you get that, purchase that minting for that NFT and get that tier 4, I need you to give him the hardest time possible when you go and meet with him on the GMC show. No, so, being able to interact with him, be a part of the team. You get a raffle to be on the Good Morning Crypto show. You get the one-on-one with the GMC team. You get the hoodie, and then you get that special rank. And again, this isn't just all. That's what the beauty of what we're trying to accomplish with the utility of this NFT is, that as we release more things, these get you raffle pieces. So then when we want to add something else, we can do it in 2 ways. We can add it by saying, hey, we're going to do a raffle for this thing based off of the amount of mints that you have and the amount of raffles that you have, or raffles that you have won from the gamification piece. Or 2, we can say we're releasing this to this tier. So it's not something that's like a one and done thing. That's what we're going to see with NFT projects in the future. They're not going to be one and done where it runs out and it just becomes a speculative asset. Yes, you can go and speculate on this asset, but it is much more beneficial to being a part of this mint and getting the ability to have these tiers to be a part of our community and getting a seat at essentially the table. And then we look at tier 5, when you get to do a Zoom call with Coach JV, you get another special rank, and then tier 6, you get flown to Arizona for a whole weekend with Coach JV. And again, I know that you're like, okay, is this it? No, this isn't it. This is just the beginning of it, because the way that we created it was that we can keep adding things with the raffle piece or giving tiers to different things. And so I think that I don't know if we have any specific questions, but again, Johnny here laughed at me for saying that. But if you get that chance to be on GMC, I really want you to give him a hard time. But anyway, so Selman, is there something I add? I know you and Jackie and Bellino work super closely on this, and then I give oversight and guidance and governance. But was there something that you wanted to add to this? Because you were just as much a part of this, in my opinion, as this is, because you have been with us since almost the beginning, Selman. You were the very first person that was really on our, one of the first persons, if not the first person that was on our technical analysis team. You've been through us with this all. You're the reason we even have a Discord. You were the reason that our Discord got better. And so I just think that this is just as much as part of yours as it is ours.
I was checking out the chat as well. Like,
oh, sorry.
You know, I see the questions here as well. And so, I mean, I'm always on the community side, right? So when I'm looking at things, I want to see from a community perspective, is there value? And so when I check out the bear market, many influencers are gone or desperately trying to even collect these receiving messages from influencers. Hey, do you want a paid promotion or something like that? They're desperately trying to find something. But Coach is pretty much out there adding value, creating content nonstop and educating people. And we're always saying that the bear market is the best time to get, the best education, because when the bull market starts, and I know all of you guys out there, you've experienced the bull market. Maybe it was your first bull market, but you didn't have time to learn because you were literally checking out the charts all the time and all the opportunities you missed because you didn't take profits. And so right now it's super boring in this space. Nobody's really no coin is pumping. It's always bad news. This is the best time to silently start creating content, learn more, right? Educate. And again, you've seen the article. I want to bring it back up again, because the reason why I want to bring this up is because the mindset aspect of things is so important. This guy has a gambling addiction. It doesn't matter if he, gamble away all the investor funds. Keep in mind, guys, if you win the lottery, statistics have proven that you're going to lose the money. Your life is going to be even more miserable after spending that money, because you don't have the financial knowledge, the education, right? So this is a great example why you should take the opportunity now to learn more in this space, crypto in general, or how to actually manage funds, manage your money. And because tomorrow you're going to become very rich in the crypto space. I have no doubts. We're all invested, I believe. And so it's important for you guys to get ready, because tomorrow emotions will kick in. You won't take profits, or you take profits and you waste the money and you're not going to feel happy. So this is what Coach AV always tries, or not tries, he's pretty much doing it, right? Teaching you also the mindset aspect of things, the spiritual aspect of things, and or the fitness side of things. People, literally, I was laughing when I saw JV doing crypto and then health. I was like, what the hell? But I was never actually doing workouts. I was literally sitting here eating chips and trading or something. But then I realized, man, he's absolutely right about this. Health is important. Fitness is important. The mindset, spiritual aspect is important. So all of that combined, I personally believe the 3T Warrior Academy and Coach AV stepping into the Web3 space is a big step in a bear market. Imagine what's going to happen in the bull market when people see that Coach has a Meta Academy, a metaverse basically, where people come together, hang out, do networking, have parties, and get education and hang out with JV there, have live streams, virtual conferences, right? All of that combined, guys, I'm telling you, this is, if you want to get education, might be a great way for, step into this and get some, I would say, get some experience and be prepared for what's going to come next in the space after regulation, all of that. So get ready, guys. This is all I can add, actually, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, I know what Bellino wanted to add something too.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly say, like, I'm not trying to repeat this whole conversation here, but Jeremy talked about NFTs not just being like should not just be speculative, but they should have some intrinsic value and I don't know, maybe solve a problem or have a use case. And that's exactly what we are trying to develop with Collecti Labs. We want to have NFT projects out there which are not speculative, that they have just value for you. So despite of the price movement, you always can use this NFT for something. And what we have created here together with Coach and Jeremy here and the Free T Academy team is a project which has value in itself. So this is an investment in yourself. You get education, you get all those information, you get a networking opportunity, which is, in my opinion, like the most important resource if you're going to be an entrepreneur at some point in your life. That network is your net worth, and that's just true. Because if you have a specialist who's web design, who's good in building web shops, someone's good in doing advertisement and marketing, if you know all those people, you don't have to do it yourself. So that means you're saving a lot of time and a lot of money because you have experts all around yourself who can help you and educate you with this. So this is like not an NFT in case of a speculative asset. If you're like speculating on 10xing this stuff and trading it, like this is the wrong project for you. This project is like a solid project which provides utility and value in form of education, in form of network, in form of a solid community, which is here in the bear market where most of the projects are just AFK. They are just AFK. Go check out their Twitter, go check out their Discord. They're just that. And we are here building, and imagine what happens in the bull market. It will at least 10x the whole activity, the whole engagement we have in the space. And then you can, like in bull markets, it's easy for every project to look good, but in the bear market, you can see who's actually building.
Absolutely, Bellino.
And we got one more question here. Are we going to need XRP in some wallet for X royalty? Yes, that is correct. The exact XRP amount will be announced like a few days before the launch, so next week. And so right now, you guys know that it's going to be worth, like, one NFT is going to be worth $500, but in XRP amount. So the exact amount will be announced on Monday or Tuesday, but we're definitely going to make the announcement very soon. And last but not least, I can only tell you guys, I invested in NFT projects last year, not to see some kind of Bored Ape performance there, to see, crazy amounts. Oh, I'm going to be filthy rich. It's actually because I like the community and I like what they were promising, right? And it was interesting, a different kind of utility, not what everybody else was promising during that time. And so you guys should understand, NFT is a technology, and you should actually invest in a project only when it resonates with you, after doing the due diligence and because of the community, because a project is only as good as its community. And what I really enjoy about the 3T Warrior Academy, I want to be honest with you guys, is a proven track record, right? So JV, I've been working with JV for so long, and I realized there was never a time where he promised something he didn't deliver, right? He under-promised and over-delivered. And this is the reason why I personally believe, if you compare to other projects, there has been, rug pulls and many things, but still, this man is standing. X royalties out there, right? Very soon. And I'm pretty sure the 3T Warrior Academy family is going to bring lots of value and add a lot of value to the people, the community, and education is the most important part of this. So yeah, get ready, guys. I'm super excited for this. And again, join the Discord, right? I'm going to show it right here as well. Discord.gg/3T Warrior Academy. You can find all the links down below in the description. Make sure You bombard us with questions because we want to make sure you don't have any questions. You feel comfortable with anything, right? Not only about X Royalty, and about crypto in general. Our team is there. Gonzo is there. Jackie. We got, the whole Good Morning Crypto team there. Ask us whatever you want. We're more than happy if we can help you. And that being said, Jeremy, any final words for you before I show the outro?
Yeah, just real quick before you show the outro, I just want to say, the whole meaning of all this is that the battle is not against anybody, but against our own consciousness. And as we move into putting together the virtual with the physical, that is going to be something that you're going to have to realize. Make sure that you're using, whether it's our NFT project, Collecti's NFT project, Web3, whatever it is, make sure that you're doing it to move yourself and your life forward. That's the reason why we want to do this. And we want to be able to create more for our community in different ways. And that's what the genius of Selman and Bellino with Collecti Labs has shown us. And that's what we're going to be doing with X Royalty. So that's what I want to end with there, Selman.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. And next week, guys, we will have Coach JV here on stage before the official launch next week on Wednesday. Don't forget it. Tune in, guys, and see you guys on Discord. Bye, everybody.
I hope that you enjoyed listening to that conversation. I enjoyed doing it. I love being on our YouTube channel. It comes few and far between. I also did a Twitter Spaces for this. You can check out that Twitter Spaces by going to Twitter and checking out Collecti Labs. And there is a Twitter Space where I talked about this. I'm going to be trying to get that audio from them and putting it here in an episode, hopefully before the mint. The mint is on January 11th. Make sure that you go and check that out. Again, each NFT is going to be 500 USD. When you buy a certain amount of them, you can check it out on the light paper. You get certain benefits of it. And then we'll be adding in benefits throughout the years, utilizing raffle and understanding who owns those NFTs. And that's what makes NFTs amazing. Again, it's 500 USD. You have to buy it in XRP and then put it in a Zoom wallet, and you're going to be purchasing from that Zoom wallet. It's really fun. NFTs are amazing. And again, like I said, they're not going away, so you should definitely learn how they work and make them a part of your life and integrate with them. But be careful, because there are a lot of bad actors out there and there's a lot of bad press around NFTs. And what we're hoping to do is take some of that away by providing a really good community around our NFT. So that also being said, make sure that you check out my socials. I'm going to be working on creating more spaces on our Age of Radio Twitter and my Age of Jeremy Twitter, or Age of Jeremy Q Twitter account. So be on the lookout for those. And then we'll be having some new YouTube videos here shortly. So make sure that you subscribe to that. And I appreciate every single one of you, the listener, follows me on social media. Again, I appreciate you. And like we always say, remember, be thankful, grateful, and kind. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you liked this podcast, make sure that you like it in your podcatcher that you're listening to it in, and make sure that you subscribe. And if you could, please rate this podcast so we can get it in front of more and more people as we grow the Age of Jeremy brand into 2023 and beyond. The opening song was Brave Faces Everyone by a band called Spanish Love Song, so check them out. Our closing song is Illuminati Hotties, their song Threatening Each Other Recapitalism. I use Neumann microphones. This is recorded using Steinberg's Cubase. I use Waves plugins, and I record through a Zoom L8, so check out all of those brands. We're not sponsored by them, but I enjoy them, especially the Neumann microphones. They are the best. And remember, one last time, be thankful, grateful, and kind. We'll talk with you next time. Bye.
Okay, everybody, it's Michael E. Cullen II.
And I'm Sesame and Carta from the All Too Real 2 podcast. We're passionate about movies, TV, and pretty much all things pop culture.
Dive into the chaos of failed sitcoms, direct-to-video sequels, and the quirky realms of cinema and TV.
Join us every Thursday for your dose of All Too Real 2 entertainment.
We'll guide you through debates like whether Howard the Duck qualifies as a superhero.
Ponder if Larry the Cable Guy could be the new Rock or Schwarzenegger.
Discover if some shows and movies should have stayed in the cutting room.
Ever heard of a sitcom featuring that dictator with the funny mustache? Well, we watched it.
We're dedicated to unraveling the peculiarities of pop culture, sometimes with awesome guests.
So, if you're into the eccentric world of pop culture,
listen and subscribe to All Too Real 2.
Available wherever you find podcasts
and on Age of Radio.